Hi, I'm Darcel Lobo. I own Dow Law Firm. I'm an attorney here, and today we're talking about what happens if you inherit a home that has a mortgage on it, or if you have a home with a mortgage and you're doing your estate planning. You're trying to figure out what's going to happen to my home when I pass away because it still has a mortgage. The home is not paid off. So that's what we're going to answer today. And so when somebody passes away and there's a mortgage on the home, the mortgage is still there. The mortgage does not go away. It doesn't disappear. It's not forgiven. It's not written off. That mortgage is attached to that property. So when you bought the home, or if you are, let's say if you're inheriting a home and it's your parents who bought the home, whoever bought the home and had the mortgage, they signed, among many other documents, they signed a deed of trust and a promissory note for that mortgage. Whether it's a first mortgage, a second mortgage, a HELOC, any of those types of mortgage loans against a home, those two contracts were signed. The deed of trust is a lien against the home that gives the lender a security interest in that home. And the promissory note is the person's personal obligation to repay that debt. Okay, so there's two contracts being signed here for a mortgage. And so when the person passes away, that mortgage, that deed of trust, that lien is still attached to the home and it follows the home. So even if the person's will says, my home goes to my daughter, the home can go to the daughter, but the daughter takes the home subject to any mortgages that are on that property, okay? Same with the property taxes, right? That all follows the property. No matter who receives it, it's still attached to the property. And so if you are the one leaving the home to someone in your will and there's still a mortgage, just know they can receive it, but they're going to have to continue paying that mortgage one way or another, right? By making monthly payments, paying it off, maybe from other inheritance funds, or if they're going to sell the home, the mortgage still needs to be paid one way or another. Now, they are allowed, under federal law, they are allowed to keep the home and to keep paying the mortgage. They don't have to pay the mortgage off. They don't have to sell the home. They can just take over as your heir of just continuing to make those monthly payments until the loan is paid off. That's fine, okay? They don't have to sell the home. They don't have to pay it off right away. They don't have to refinance it. That loan can just continue in the decedent's name. So and if you are the one who's received the home as an inheritance and it has a mortgage on it, again, you can keep the home. You can just keep making the monthly mortgage payments. Or if you're able to do so and you want to do so, you can just pay it off. Or if you're going to sell it, then it'll get paid when the sale closes, right? So the mortgage still follows the property. No matter who owns it, no matter who inherits it, is really the bottom line, I would say, of this video, is that it still is there. But the person inheriting the home, has some options. Now, if the loan becomes too far past due and it's not being paid, then that home, the lender can, initiate foreclosure proceedings, if the mortgage is too far past due. So it's important that the mortgage lender kind of knows what's going on. If there is a past due balance, if you have probate open, if the plan is to sell the property, or if one of the heirs is going to receive the home and plans to take over payments, there's not a lot of time if payments are not being made before you want to take some kind of action one way or another, because again, we don't want the home to go into foreclosure. If it does go into foreclosure, we have some options to save the home. Foreclosure is kind of a lengthy process here in Washington State, but we would want to avoid that because that just adds more cost to the loan as far as the foreclosure fees and things like that, okay? And if this is a property that has a reverse mortgage, that contract needs to be reviewed because there are very specific timelines and requirements if there was a reverse mortgage on the property. In that scenario, the loan probably is called due upon the person's passing and may require the home to be sold. So there's some additional considerations to have if there was a reverse mortgage on the home. So again, this is all to say that if you are leaving your home to someone in your will or your trust, or if you are inheriting a home from someone who's passed away and there's a mortgage on the home, there are options available. You don't have to pay it off right away. You don't have to sell the home. You can keep the home if that's your desire. You do have options, and you probably want to talk to an attorney about the process of fleshing out those options and what that would look like for you. So we can be of assistance. You can visit us online at dowlawfirm.com. I'll have that link down below along with our phone number and how to get a hold of our office. All right, thank you. Have a good day.